Happy Monday, everybody. If you're watching on a replay, let me know in the comments, hashtag replays. We like to know who comes back after the fact and watches. Just a minute to get stuff set here. And we'll give everybody else a minute or two to pop on. Oh, I forgot to put earrings on. Oh, well, that's all right. For those of you watching on Facebook today, the image might be reversed. I'm not quite sure. There's normally a setting that I could go to flip the orientation of the camera, and they must have done some update because I couldn't find that. So it probably will only confuse me. But just in case it looks like I'm pointing one direction, but you know the shop and you feel like I should be pointing the other direction, that's probably why. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Mother. And I'm actually working on a project where I have just a plain old stockinette knit row, but hopefully I don't screw that up while I'm chatting with everybody. Hi, Mercina. Hi, Oriana. Stacy. Stacy, I already found a home for all the books you brought in. Melissa's gonna claim them, which is awesome. I was gonna mention it tonight, and then she and I were talking, and she's gonna snag them. So that's cool. Everything looks normal. Good. Noelle, Sherry, Linda. Awesome. We got a bunch tonight. Good. I love it. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Welcome to Monday Motivation. Today is March 31st, last day of March. My name is Kristen. I am the owner of the Little Yarn Shop located in Saginaw, Michigan, inside the SVRC Marketplace. Marketplace hours are Wednesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Shop hours for us are Wednesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Deb continues to host drop-in help on Monday evenings up in the front lobby. That goes 6:30 to 8:30 every Monday night, or every Monday. And there's a $10 fee for that, but it doesn't matter if the project is something here from the shop or if it's just something that you're working on from somewhere else and you got stuck. It's a great opportunity to come and get some help. Hi, Holly, working on dinner. Awesome. Finishing coastline. Hexy, finishing it. I can't believe you're finishing it up. Nicole working on the ends of the bomber jacket. Awesome. Man, I am really trying to resist the urge to cast on a crocheted cardigan because they are everywhere right now. I don't know if you guys saw the video I posted the other day of Jason Momoa and Jack Black in the crocheted. It sort of made it sound like Jason Momoa was the one crocheting them. I'm pretty sure that's not the case. Nicole linked an article to our text group and I didn't get a chance to read it, but I'm pretty sure he's not the creator. He was just the purchaser of the items. Yeah, definitely a Melissa bag of books. So let's see, that's the shop. What's coming up? Upcoming events. April 19th is a Saturday, and that is the Bridal Expo here at the marketplace. So if you know somebody who's in the market for bridal info, pass the word on to them that there's a bridal expo up in the ballroom upstairs on Saturday, April 19th. April 26th, which would be the following Saturday, is local yarn store day. So I am getting samples together. I've got 2 samples done. Ashley's working on um, she probably won't have it finished, which is fine. I'm not trying to pressure her into having it done. But then if you know Ashley, you know she might have it done because she knits like the wind. But she's working on a sample for us too. So we have a few different versions of at least one of the projects, the um, patterns that are free with purchase of yarn on LYS Day. Yes, made by Treat Yourself Crochet. Yes, I did see that they mentioned that artist, so I was assuming that's what it was. Um, so that's what's coming up. What am I wearing? I am wearing the Lano sweater, Llano by Dawn Barker. This sweater is knit using it was designed specifically for assigned pooling yarn. So the one that I'm wearing was our custom color for 2023, one of the Saginaw Standard colors, and it's done side to side versus top to bottom or bottom to top. So you start with one sleeve and you work your way across, which is how you get the lines that go this direction. And assigned pooling is a yarn where 75% of the skein is one color and then there's a little blip of a different color. And Dawn Barker is the original when it comes to not only creating that style of dyeing, but also patterns that utilize that dye style. There are a lot more designers out there now that do the assigned pooling patterns that are work with yarns that are assigned pooling, I guess would be the best way to say it. But this is the Lano. It's a boxy. It's a little bit, the one thing I found with this is it would be a little bit tricky to modify in terms of length because you would have to know there's no waist shaping or anything. It's just a boxy sweater, which is nice because you don't have to worry about it being overly fitted or anything. But if you wanted it longer, when you got to the point that you cast on for your body stitches, you would have to cast on more to get more length out of it. Same with if you wanted it either a wider or narrower neckline, you would have to know going side to side how to modify that. Hi, Patty. But this is the Lano sweater. And that's what I'm wearing. What did I finish? I finished a few things this week and actually blocked them. So last week, I think I said my crocheted cowl sample was being blocked, or it was blocking, I guess. And it is done and seamed. It took me a minute. Sometimes one of the downsides of working up a sample before a pattern is fully ready or published is that things might not be totally clear in the version I get versus the version that you all get. And I'm pretty good about sending feedback to designers if I get patterns in that stage. But so this is the cowl that I just finished. And I kind of will just give a sneak peek, but we're not going to talk too much about it, but this is crocheted. It's made in two pieces, blocked and then seamed in a really unique way that you get this kind of fun collar construction. So as we get closer to local yarn store day, I will talk about this one a little bit more. And the yarn that I used is Barocco Summer Sesame. So it's that nice light cotton, good denim feel. I also finished my little mini sample that I was showing last week. So here's a little picture of the larger version of the shawl. Jessica from Double the Stitches is really good with supporting local yarn stores and coming up with designs for us to promote on LYS Day. She's done this, I think this is the fourth year that we have done one of her designs. I don't know how many years she's done it for, but because I know that one, I can't knit that quickly, and two, I don't have the attention span to put into a full 3 skein project. I did my little mini version and oops, try to hide some of the ends. I did weave the ends in, I just didn't trim them all. So hang on, give me a second. We'll trim these and then nobody will be the wiser. Nobody saw anything. So here's my little mini version of this scarf. Mostly I wanted to have some sort of representation that gives you an idea of like how much of like how it's actually laid out, because in at least the copy of the pattern that I got, there isn't a visual of what the whole piece looks like laid flat out. So you cast on at one end, it's got some garter. All of this is just mosaic, so you're only working with one color at a time, just doing slip stitches. This middle section, it's hard to see the beautiful brown that it is, but look at how beautiful that is. So it's fingering weight yarn. This is just little like broken stockinette with a little garter ridge every once in a while. And then you mirror the other way down. So it's a long scarf. And we will have yarn pairings put together for that. Hi, Shar. So yeah, this is just my little mini version. I think it'll fit, it'll fit Rebecca, our little American Girl doll, pretty well. But I finished that this week. Because I think what we found confusing in originally, well, so here's the picture that's on the front. I don't know if I showed that last week. It looks like a cape, but it's not. And it's a little bit hard to decipher what the full piece looks like. So that was kind of my goal for doing a little mini version. Give it to a little human. Yes, you could. You could almost use it like a little Sophie scarf, sort of. Yeah. Tuck it in the collar of your coat or anything like that, and you still get that really pretty design. In that sense, it is sort of ideal in that if you were to do something small like this, you're not putting the work into the part in the back where nobody sees it, especially if you have long hair that covers it up, and you could just kind of tuck that in and be cute. So if it doesn't fit Rebecca, I wrapped it around Rebecca earlier, and it sort of reminded me of the picture of Lenny Kravitz from years ago, where he's got this giant oversized scarf that like is basically eating his head because it's so big. That's kind of what this looks like on her. So it could go to a little human, but it'll be on display for now. And then the other project I was working on was a replacement sample for Deb's Basics and Beyond class. And I got that done and blocked, and look at how much. Do you remember last week how this was all getting scrunched in, and I was trying to stretch it out so you could see the cables? Blocking makes such a difference. It doesn't even have to be 100% wool project. So this was using one skein of Hiroko Vintage, which is 50%. Is it 50%? I want to say it's more than that, but I could be wrong. I need to go grab one. Hang on. I'll be right back. 52% acrylic, 40% wool, 8% nylon. So Barocco Vintage, one skein, and I was cutting it kind of close. That's what I had left over. But that was the purpose of when Deb wrote the pattern, to use one skein to create a sampler from which to teach the basics and beyond. So yes, it would be a good man scarf, Pam. So this is done. It can stay here now as a shop sample. Ashley and I were chatting about it earlier, and I'm trying. When people have asked me in the past if I've done like the master knitter certification, things like that, I'm really not that technical of a good knitter, I guess. I'm not technically a good knitter. I mean, I knit a lot and I do pretty well at it, but in terms of my actual stitch definition, I would maybe fail if I tried to be a master knitter. So what do I mean by that? Like, yeah, I can do this. I can knit pretty much anything. But if you look at if you were to do, because there is such a thing as a master knitter certification, one of the things they would look at would be something like this reverse stockinette section. And you can see that there are some gaps that are wider than others, and it's almost like every 2 rows. What causes that? What causes that is that my knitting tension is different from my purling tension. So these sections are reverse stockinette. So if you look at the back side, you see the knit stitches. On the front side, you see the purl stitches. Because it's done flat, that means I'm purling across and knitting back. And my tension is different both ways. So they call that rowing out. Most people, it's not going to bother them. They're not even going to notice it. But things like that are what the Knitting Guild of America looks at when you do your master knitter certification. And that's like one of the very first things that you have to submit to them. So I did try it one time, or I started, and that's as far as I got. So for those who think that their knitting has to be perfect, it doesn't. It doesn't. And people aren't going to notice. So that's our basics in Beyond Scarf. I got that done. I am working on trying to write a knit pattern that might be the companion to this crochet one in the Summer Sesame. So that's my only project that I am actively working on right now. And I'm not very far with it. This is as far as I've gotten, just a few rows. So I'm playing around with different textures, different stitch patterns. Hopefully that will be something that will be done for local yarn store day. If not, hi Donna. It might be something that will be released over the summer during the yarn crawls. But I have found a new hobby, and it's taking away from my knitting time. Some of it is, well, no, I can't even say that. I was about to say some of it's necessary, but it's not really necessary. It's just kind of fun. So many of us are aware of the term procrastinating, and I've always been really good at that, knitting instead of doing the things that need to be done. Today I came up with another term, a new term called procrasta thrifting. So I am currently in thrift store mode, trying to find cool and unique things with which to decorate my house. And yeah, just kind of unique and different pieces. So spending time just wandering thrift stores, looking for different things. And that means I have less knitting time. So I haven't produced as much as I normally would, I think. But I'm having fun, so that's something. And I am trying to limit myself and actually getting some other work done too. So only partial procrastination. All right, so that's what I am working on and what I finished. Let's see, I finally got the March club color from Wonderland Yarns. That is their tour of the seasons. So Wonderland does it goes January through December tour of the seasons. The base is always the same. So it is Mad Hatter, which is their sport weight, 344 yards and 4 ounces of 100% superwash merino. When you are a member in this club, you get 1 skein, unless you've requested more, of sport weight yarn in the club color for the month. Hi, Aunt Jackie. This month or March was inspired by Cinderella, so it's called Midnight Waltz. And when you get yours, on the inside of the label, where it looks like there's nothing, if you fold it back, there is actually a QR code. How do I show that? There we go. There is actually a QR code in there for single skein projects. And I don't know, it says Mad Hatter Library and special projects. I know I think Cindy had asked me to send her the link with the block of the month, if that was something you're interested in, we can do that too. Last year, they did a knit and a crochet block, Afghan block each month with their sport weight yarn. As far as I know, those are still available. But so you get the skein of yarn. You also get every month you get a different invite. So this one is His Royal Majesty King Charming's annual celebration ball in honor of Prince Charming II. March 21st, 2025 in the Royal Ballroom. And then on the back of this little invite is a work in progress card that has you gives you a place to put about your yarn, what you're making, what size, what notions you needed, all of that. And then you get a set of stitch markers. So each month, one of the stitch markers is a book. So this one says Cinderella on it. And then the other one is a little, of course it's upside down. Come on. There we go. A glass slipper. So if you're part of the club, we've got your set aside. We do have one extra. They are $36 for the skein and the goodies. So I've got one extra that wasn't spoken for with the club. If you're interested, let me know. You can always just throw it in the comments. Tell us you want it. Sarah, you want yours. Okay. I've got yours set aside. So we still have one up for grabs. I was just going to say something about that. What was I going to say? Oh, if you want this or anything else I talk about, just let us know in the comments how many you want, what you want, and if it's something that we're going to ship to you or you're going to pick up here in the shop. And it's not quite April, but I'm going to talk about it anyway because they're almost gone. And I wanted to make sure that those of you who aren't local get an opportunity to see these before they're gone. So Dream in Color has their pop-up club that we've participated in for the past few years. And this month, well, April's club color is called Montauk. And it is so beautiful. So the pop-up club is always on their mushy cashmere base, which is 70% superwash merino, 20% cashmere, 10% nylon, 400 yards. So fingering weight, 4 ounces, $36. And it's these pale golden yellows, these really pretty lilac-y purples, blushy pinks, and then like this gray, like a silvery gray. I'm going to open one up. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these beauties that are not spoken for the clubs. So in looking at this, it is, I would call it a variegated yarn. So yes, maybe half the skein has kind of that silvery gray color, but the other half is kind of all of the pinks and purples and yellows, and then a little bit of that gray. So it will be a variegated look. My guess would be if you knit something like socks, it would kind of do a bit of a spiral thing. Beyond that, it might be sort of a crapshoot as to how it would turn out, but I would treat it like a variegated versus a tonal or a semi-solid. It's definitely not going to be like a color pooling yarn. If you ever try and retwist a skein and it ends up doing stuff like this, don't freak out about it. You can still tuck one end into the other and pull. So when I'm rewinding some of these and they do these weird things, you can just kind of tug on it and it will work itself back into shape. I can't get them nearly as pretty as the dyers can because they use equipment to do a lot of these skeins, but we do spend a fair amount of time rewrapping them to make them look pretty again. So we've got, what did I say, 5 of those here in the shop. And those are $36 a piece. Both of them are 36 a piece. So that's the new yarns we've got in the shop. We do have a Malabrigo order on its way to us. There was a little bit of lapse in communication, so it's been sitting on hold on their end while they were waiting for me to respond to an email I never got. But a fairly good sized Malabrigo shipment will be on its way to us, or it should be on its way to us now. I got sidetracked a little bit talking about upcoming events, but we do have in June, the middle of the Mitten Yarn Crawl. As a reminder, that goes June 12th through 21st. And we will have the bags and passports available for sale for that. As that is taking place on June 14th. So 2 days into that yarn crawl is Worldwide Knit in Public Day. So we will try and do something for that too. And then a month later, the Heartland Yarn Adventure goes July 25th through August 3rd. So you've got a little bit of a break in there between the two. You don't have to do both. It's totally up to you. We always feel like it's a great idea just to get the passports, just to get, so the middle of the mitten passport is one that will have quite a bit more information in it. That's the one that has a page for each shop that's participating, gives you a little bit of info about each shop, hours, etc. The Heartland Yarn Adventure, the beauty of getting those passports is that it's for a broader variety of shops that are in Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, and Kentucky. And I don't know the number of shops that are participating in that one this year. They had a call last week and I missed it. So, but my understanding is it's even more shops than last year. That doesn't mean you have to go everywhere. That doesn't mean you have to hit them all, but it's for $5. It's a great buy to be able to have that reference. And that will have shop hours and addresses as well. It just won't have a write-up about what type of things the shops offer, stuff like that. It's more of just a quick guide. But it would be fun to get a group together and pick a region. If you were to do that yarn crawl each year and do a region, or just stay in this area. The beauty of the Heartland Yarn Adventure is you don't have to hit a certain number of shops in order to qualify for prizes. When you purchase your passport and you turn that log in, you're automatically entered for prizes. And it simply goes by the number of shops you've visited. So if you visit 10 shops, you get 10 entries. If you visited one shop, you get one entry. But there are tons of great prizes. We have had a handful of customers the last 2 years win some great prizes. We try and work with some of our vendors to give us prizes, door prizes as well. In addition to the grand prizes that the yarn crawl as a whole gives out. So, hi Teresa, tell Bill we said happy birthday. We were just in Grand Rapids a week ago. So those two yarn crawls are coming up. Oh, I do know that a few of you made purchases through Pampered Chef as part of my Pampered Chef party. So thank you. I appreciate that. The party closed today. I got to do the fun part of sitting down and figuring out what I wanted to order. So my new pots and pans and all kinds of fun kitchen tools and gadgets, which I feel like I can never have enough of. It's kind of like having all the knitting needles. I want all the knives and all the spatulas and all the fun accoutrements that come with cooking and baking or knitting. Pampered Chef doesn't sell that stuff though, but we do. So thank you. Local businesses. So I was in the car on the road a lot this weekend, went to go see mom and dad on Saturday in Lexington and stopped in Marlette at Jocularity, which is a cute little coffee shop. And I think V and I have been there a couple times. Holly, your son was grateful to get stuff. Yes. Who isn't? I don't know. It's always fun to get stuff like that delivered to, whether it was any like Norwex or Pampered Chef or any of those things. Leah Sophia, even way back in the day. It's always fun to get the stuff. So Jocularity in Marlette is a cute little coffee shop. I forgot to post pictures yesterday of weekend happenings, but they have a really sweet venue attached to their coffee shop that would be a great place for a small gathering if you were looking for something kind of out in the thumb, just a nice remote place. And then went over to Lexington, got to see mom and dad. Yesterday, I ended up in East Lansing and Lansing. We kind of drove all over the place, but had to go down and see the kiddo. And we tried a new coffee shop called Mitten Raised. And I will post pictures of that because it's a coffee shop, but it's a bakery too. And the baked goods that they had, it was hard to decide. We actually started with real food, and even that was good. Like I got this burrito wrap, like a breakfast burrito wrap that had eggs and avocado and sweet potato hash and black beans. And I don't even remember what else, but it was delicious. So we both forced ourselves to get some real food before we went back in and made the second rounds of getting the sweet treats. But I think we ended up with a lemon berry cheesecake and a strawberry and cream tres leches. But they just had cases full of heavy, delicious desserts. I mean, they had these cookie sandwiches. And yes, Donna, definitely add this one. And it's right by apparently there's a breakfast place called the Morning Post that looked like it was really busy. And so it seemed it seemed to me that people were trying to get into the Morning Post and couldn't. So we're working their way across the parking lot to Mitten Raised. But it's Mitten Raised is a big place, plenty of capacity and really good coffee, really nice staff, just a sweet atmosphere. Of course, it's a college town, so lots of younger young adults there. But families and stuff too. The coffee was good. The pastries were good. I'm glad we don't have too many places like that around here. I mean, it would be probably comparable to Miles Market, only a lot more baked goods. And I think they were just like cranking them out like crazy. So, um, if you're down in the East Lansing area, it's definitely worth checking out. I don't know, that whole stretch along Grand River though, there are so many coffee shops. Um, now we're in this because V goes for coffee all the time. We're trying to find coffee shops that she hasn't been to yet and I haven't been to yet. So, but the beauty of me driving down and having a car is I can pick her up and we can venture out. Um, what else do we have to talk about? In the second week in May, Deb and I will be going to Chicago for H&H Americas, which is the trade show. Deb and Ashley went last year because I couldn't go, but I'm going to go this year, and I'm hoping to get sneak peeks on some of the goodies. I imagine there's going to be quite a bit of a discussion about different goods and materials being imported from different countries. So I feel like it's important that I need to kind of stay abreast on the markets and what's happening. But I also like to see what's new and what's fun and bring back cool ideas for stuff for all of you too. So that's coming up in May. The shop will still be open. Karen will still be here. We'll try and line up help so she's not here by herself all the time. But I know quite a few of you are good at popping in and keeping her company while we're gone. Oh, Joyce's next sock. I don't think I showed this one. Joyce's sock for the next round of Sock Madness. She always leaves one here. So this was, lost the little card. Round Chattahoochee is the name of the sock. So she used which I love, was one of the first custom colors. Well, it was the second custom color we had done from Brenda and Heather. And it was right when we first opened the shop here in this location because it was called Spring Mix, like Spring Mix veggies. So one of our exclusive self-striping colors, but the way the sock was constructed, it was knit flat on the bias, and then you seamed it, and then you're picking up the stitches all around the foot to do the bottom of it. So she used this pretty green as a contrast color. It's really a really cool design. She was reading to us the description that the designer wrote about if she chooses something that has a unique construction, it has a purpose. It's not just difficult to be difficult, but it's done in a way that gets a visual that you couldn't get any other way. So I think she accomplished that with this. So there are some short rows, like you can see these little blocks here end up with like do little block short rows before you continue on with this little zigzaggy thing. But she did make it. Again, she's got like the fastest team. I think everybody on her team had qualified and the slowest team had one person qualifying. So, but we love to brag on the fact that Joyce is right up there with the best of them because she is, and we're lucky enough to have her here and local and as a friend and as a customer and as a teacher here in the shop. I think that's all I've got for you guys tonight. I'm looking around and that might be it. The trunk show for Barocco Ariel is boxed up and heading to the UPS store tomorrow morning. So that is gone, but we still have access to the digital patterns. And of course, Ariel is a yarn that we carry here on a regular basis. So that's along with all the other Barocco yarns. Even if we don't carry them, we can get them for you direct ship. So feel like I'm losing my voice a little bit. So I hope everybody has a good week and a good evening. I didn't ask, and I guess probably if people were affected by either the storm yesterday or the ice storms over the weekend, they may not have power in order to join us or tell us how things are. But I know down by East Lansing yesterday, they had tornado warnings, but it didn't seem too bad in that area, but I've got friends down in the Schwartz Creek area that lost a bunch of trees and were without power and using generators. And by the time it got up here to Saginaw, I was pretty underwhelmed. I love a good thunderstorm, and we got some thunder and lightning and some rain, but it wasn't what it was looking like it could have been. So I guess I'm thankful. If you haven't seen any of the images from like up north from Gaylord and Mayo, that area up there, they got hit hard with a lot of freezing rain and ice. Shar, you still have no power. Yeah, crazy. So keep all those people, like the workers and the people who live in those affected areas in your thoughts and prayers, because I mean, it's not below 0 temps, but it's not exactly warm outside. So want everybody to be safe. So have a good week. If we don't see you in the shop, then I plan to be right back here, same time next Monday as usual. So if we don't see you, we'll chat next week. Be creative, have a good night, and stay warm and stay safe.